Down to 7 Pacific.
Out there. Yes, clear. Loud and clear.
Friendly fire!
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Okay. We're
Check.
good. We're going. I think this is good.
Check.
Welcome to the Friendly Fire podcast. Josh is no longer with us.
Josh is dead.
Yeah, Josh is dead. He's in New York. So we have a good friend of the pod, Spencer Cavins here. That is a golf thing.
I saw just the base of this sticking out from under your coffee table. I was like, Matt, clean up a little.
Come on, man. You have company coming over. What are you doing? So I don't have the mastermind of Josh Francis here today, so I'm running the whole show. So if anything is bad, it's my fault. I can't do it without Josh. But dude, happy to have you here.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here.
Is this your first time being in my apartment?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Okay, so the apartment itself is nice. The buildings
Really?
here,
Yeah.
they're not. These are like old Pizza Huts
Oh, they do kind
that
of
have
look
been
like
turned into
Pizza
apartment
Huts.
buildings. I pulled in and I was
dude,
like,
I'm
"There's
living
no
in a
way,
Pizza Hut. That's
there's
so
no way
funny.
this is where he lives."
No,
Because they have maybe. I mean, you're not going to upload an exterior shot of your home.
No, I'm not.
But Josh
that would
might.
be crazy.
But it's like the slanted roof. They don't look like apartment
It
buildings.
would be really nuts if I found out that dude, and also, so I moved into this place. I had toured it like a couple months before I ended up moving out of the house that I was in with Josh. And then I was on the road, I was traveling. I really wanted to move when I got back. I didn't want to, whatever. So I just agreed. I hadn't seen this apartment. I had seen another apartment, and as you can imagine, they're all the same. I walked in. I immediately noticed, I don't know if you did. You will after, I'll have you stand up. The floor is uneven. This entire apartment tilts from that way. If I put a golf ball at the front door, it'll roll all the way to the back wall of my bedroom. And I can feel it in my feet every time I'm here.
Really?
Yeah. Which I've gotten used to and like doesn't bother me, but it is just like when the foundation is uneven, it's like.
I don't know that would bother me. But then it's the asymmetry of it would, I think once you pointed it out, I would just start noticing.
I can just feel it in my feet every time I walk. When I walk, it feels like I'm walking up a hill when I wake up and exit my room in the morning.
By the way, much more multicultural apartment building than where I live is nothing like this.
Oh, I'm like maybe. It's possible that I'm like that there's single digit amount of white people that live in this entire complex.
A lot of World Cup jerseys.
A lot of World Cup
People
celebrations.
are really excited to hear about the World Cup.
Lot of carne asada in there.
Ooh, because you can tell right now is a great time. You can tell who your neighbors are based on what teams played and the cheering.
Yeah, see,
Was last night a big one here? Did you hear a lot going on?
I don't.
Mexico and Brazil both won.
Oh,
I mean, I've never felt less safe I was driving I had a 10 o'clock spot downtown, and it's like, I mean, people are drunk, driving, and everyone's out on the street.
It's truly amazing, like watching how patriotic, especially in the midst of like where our country is right now. As soon as the World Cup comes around, everybody's like, USA. Like, it's amazing. Well, not everybody, but like.
No, but I mean, pretty much. Like, so I went to the U.S. Australia game in Seattle, and I went with my friends who, just to preface, I mean, they're born and raised in Seattle, like liberal arts degrees. They are like actual like anarchists by political ideology. They're like a part of like big like solidarity workers movements and shit. Like they're about it, you know?
Yeah.
And we all went to the game together because now they have money and jobs, but they were chanting USA. And he was like,
crazy.
You know what, man? He was like, this is probably the first and maybe last time that I will unironically chant USA, but it feels awesome.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is the perfect format for patriotism.
Yeah.
Not war. Like getting excited or hype about war is so
If I'm
so
gonna,
1942.
If I'm gonna fall for propaganda, I want it to
Sports.
be soccer is cool.
Yes.
Like that's the propaganda I want to fall for every 4 years.
Yeah, and wanting us where but soccer is like not even in the fucking top 5 here.
No.
And I would love to beat all these nations who need the win really bad and soccer's their everything.
you-
That's where my you know what I mean?
You know
That's
what it's
where I'm a
like?
colonial.
It's like in the Olympics when the U.S. beat Canada in hockey
Yes. Yeah,
for
yeah.
the gold medal, which was what, last year? It was,
yeah,
it was recent.
last year.
Yeah, that feels good because it's one of those things that creates a patriotic feeling inside of me where I'm like, we beat you at your fucking thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're number
good at
one.
everything.
We're so
We're
fucking good at everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think there's zero chance that we win though.
It's not zero.
You think it's okay?
Dude, people are saying I know nothing about soccer.
Yeah,
I'm like,
dude, I know
I went to that
fucking
one game and I
nothing.
came back and I bought like a subscription to Fox One.
Yeah,
to watch
right,
World Cup.
right,
I've never
right,
watched a
right.
soccer game in my life, and I'm like, yeah, I got to get home early, babe. Costa Rica's playing. It's gonna be my identity for a few
Democratic
more weeks.
Republic of Congo is playing
yeah.
Colombia. Yeah.
Like I was getting, we're at a children's museum because I was like with my nephews, with my friends I just mentioned. And it was like Cote d'Ivoire, like Ivory Coast against Germany.
Yeah.
And Germany scored on Cote d'Ivoire. And at one point I went, oh, fuck.
Right.
I couldn't name a single player on the
Right.
team. I get wrapped up so easy in sports.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot for me in sports. All it takes is a couple bucks.
Yeah,
Dude,
you're
I put a
crazy
couple
about
bucks in, but it really always is a couple bucks.
Yeah.
It's never like I never
just
have
a
a lot,
taste.
but dude, just a taste. It's
It
like
does.
the other night. I mean, I already told you this, but I
Yeah.
was at the spot. I was at Arendina's. I was eating food by myself. The game is on. Obviously, it's Colombia versus Congo, and it's 75 minutes in. Neither team has scored, and my thought is like, if one team score, like, the odds for Congo to win was like plus 1,000.
Right.
And I was like,
meaning you bet $10, you win 100.
I bet 10, I win 100.
Yeah.
And I actually think it was more than that. I think it was 10 to win 120. So it was somewhere up there. And I was like, fuck it. Yeah, of course. And I had just watched them. They were the offender. Like at this point,
We turned the game on at like the exact same time.
And dude, I mean, it was legitimately 30 seconds after I put money in where Colombia scored. And then they scored 2 more times. That was called off for offsides. But it was like 80 minutes of a scoreless game. And then they got the ball in the net 3 times in the matter of 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's
Just got smoked at the end.
it's like you think it's like I'm obvious. Nobody's watching my bets and going, all right, now. But it does feel like the fix is in sometimes when you go, really?
Yeah, maybe not for the
$10.
maybe not for the
Colombia
Paraguay game. I see. I don't even know what we were watching. I was watching.
I think it was
come
the
on.
Congo because I remember being
that's
like,
right.
that's crazy.
Yeah. Congo, Colombia.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have, especially because we both had we've done all like the drug treatment stuff. You hear the terms like endorphins and dopamine used almost interchangeably, right?
Yeah.
Especially when talking about drugs. Do you know the difference?
Endorphins and dopamine. No, endorphins. No, I actually don't.
So I didn't really either until I kind of also just used them interchangeably. And then Zach, our buddy Zach, was explaining to me that the difference is because he does like dog training and stuff, and they talk a lot about dopamine because I don't know if all animals have, but maybe all mammals. And he was like, endorphins is like that feel good feeling. So like you eat cake, you get endorphins. You do something fun.
Yeah.
The endorphins are that. Dopamine has to come with risk. So he's like, dopamine is the moment it comes from like, or like early like hunting days of like, you hear a rustling in the bush. That's dopamine. Dopamine is like, there might be a bird behind that bush.
Gotcha.
Gambling's the perfect example where dopamine's not necessarily the reward. It's the reward for going after something that could also have a negative result.
Yeah.
That's dopamine.
So that like energetic feeling I get
Yeah.
putting money on a game
That is pure
is
dopamine. Yes.
because I know I could lose it.
Right away,
Yeah.
Colombia could score a goal within 10 seconds,
Yes.
which is what happened.
Yeah.
But then that almost intensifies the dopamine craving for like future gambles because you know the worst.
Yeah.
You've experienced the worst and it's not going to stop you because it's like,
Yeah.
but the thrill could go the other way.
Yeah, dude, when you do hit something crazy, like I've had hot streaks where I'm just like, so there's an app, it's like the Caesar Sportsbook that they use in like the Northeast for like Jersey and New York and stuff. And the app I use here doesn't work there. And dude, every time I'm in New York, I hit. Like I've left New York like up $800 on like 20, 50. I win 100. Let's put that on that. Like multiple times. One time I showed up and you can play slots on one of the apps there.
Yeah.
And I won $200 before we had gotten our bags from the baggage claim.
I mean, great.
And I was just like, yeah.
You know what's interesting for you is that you've only intensified in volume and quantity, but not in amount.
Yeah.
Like you gamble a lot, probably more than anyone else I know, but not in a way that feels like it's like you couldn't be impacted.
Right. Like when I talk about it, sometimes people are like, are you good? Especially people who know that I was a fucking heroin addict.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, no, I lost $20.
I see the bets and I go, Matt, fucking put a zero after that.
I know.
Let's throw some zeros on that.
And dude, and I have a couple times.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't feel like, I know it's probably smart. Like I should probably just put 100.
I'm kind of 100 minimum.
On a more conservative bet.
Yes.
And then get that, but it just doesn't. I don't know. Something about the thought of turning 10 into 100 feels way better than
thrilling.
turning 100 into 2.
It's 10x. It's so thrilling.
But they never hit.
If you were a trader, you'd be the guy who's buying like the crypto shit coins.
Yes,
and then there's the guy who's like,
Inu.
dude, just put it in Amazon, and you go, that's not exciting.
It's not fun to put it in the S&P 500.
Okay, I'll tell you how you can live a little though. This is pretty much the only way that I bet, and I don't know if this is smart, this is just what I like to do, is I do 3-leg conservative parlays.
Okay.
So 3-leg money line parlays on the favorite. And I love to do that. And I for sure have netted out on top. I don't do it enough.
Yeah.
But like, it's like you bet Eagles, Chiefs, 49ers.
Yeah.
All to win their games.
Yeah. I used to do that during football season. You know, Brandon Lejeune lives right across the street.
Yeah.
And they've got 2 TVs. Every game is up. They care. I don't give a fuck. I would pick like for every game, like a parlay for every game. Like, and I would just pick the favorite. Every once in a while it hits. Dude,
and when it hits, it's a thrill.
It feels so good.
Because you need 3 things. It's like watching a bunch of like lock mechanisms finally come into place and the door opens. Yeah.
The safe opens.
Oh,
dude, and Brandon sent me a promo for this app that he used before the app I used had like Moneyline and stuff like that. And he stopped using it because football season was over. And I forget what he was doing, but he went in to place a bet. And he was like, dude, I have like $150 free because of how much you've bet.
On his thing. That's funny.
I was like, yeah.
Which is to Brandon all the money in the world.
Dude, yeah. He was like,
you think you bet? I mean, Brandon's like always hitting. And I was like, I'm like, fuck yeah. And then he's just like, nah, I bet $5.
Yeah, he bet 5 and 120.
Brandon, you like know what you're talking about.
He really does. He's a sports guy.
Put it all in. Man.
Yeah. Also, thank you for introducing me to my neighbor.
Yeah.
That was fun. Dude, that's the most I've ever heard him talk.
He was really bummed about Congo last night.
Okay. All right. It's funny.
We're illustrating your neighbors.
Yeah, if we are, yeah, in a pretty racist way, but yeah.
I mean, he's a toothless African
That's the
guy.
most I've ever heard him talk. And it's also funny because I always wonder, partly for a safety thing, if people can tell that I'm gone so much.
Clearly he can.
And he like I walk out and you're talking to him and he's, that guy's never home. And I was just like, it's
now
funny
who's
too,
racist?
because that's how he sounds.
Yeah, he does.
Because I don't see him that often. So, and then like my car's here when I'm gone. Like, I don't know. I guess like, it's just funny to think. And then, you know, he's lived here a couple months and I just met him, Ed.
Yeah.
I'm just so, and I know you relate to this, I'm so not a neighbor person.
Yeah, I kind of refuse to meet. Now, he seemed like a cool guy.
He's really nice. He's always been super nice. I've talked to one of my other neighbors. She was super nice. There was a lesbian upstairs who I got to watch out of the window commit domestic violence and then get kicked out of the apartment. It was awesome. That's
exciting.
Dude, I was sitting down here
with the girl
day.
committed the domestic violence.
It was a girl on girl DV.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which is like, for what it's worth, maybe like if like man on woman is the worst.
Yep. Easy.
Woman on man, I think is like third place. I think woman on woman is in the middle because it doesn't. There's not an obvious power dynamic here.
I think woman on woman is the one that would be like most easy for me to spectate and not care about. I actually think man on woman's the clear worse.
Yes.
Woman on man, there's like a level of injustice and manipulation there only because it's like so often it's like woman on man, guy gets taken away because the first one's so bad.
Yes, 100%.
So that you never love to see.
100%.
Man on man, I'm like, you guys really might get hurt.
Yeah, dude.
You guys really might get hurt.
You guys are both prepared for this fight.
You both
physically.
you have dancers' bodies.
Yeah,
You're stronger
dude,
than you think. Yeah, relax.
But I was sitting here and I could hear them yelling upstairs. It was like upstairs, but one over, and I could still hear it. And then I heard, "Bitch, don't you run from me!" And I heard them run down the stairs. So I was sitting.
Ed was up there.
So I looked out, and so they were Ed and Jason.
Yeah.
And so I looked out and I watched a girl, a more femme girl.
You're watching from out here.
I'm watching literally right here out the window. Run, get in her car.
Yeah.
And then my neighbor run after her, swing her door open, and the girl's trying to drive off, and she's trying to grab the girl, and then I hear, and it pulls off, the door shuts, and then she runs back upstairs, and she's like crying, like, and you know what it is, dude? It's that cry, and I know because I've been there when I was an addict, not doing domestic violence, but when you're obviously in the wrong. And you've done something you regret. The consequence is something you don't want. You know, your girlfriend leaving, running away, whatever. And then you become the victim via your inability to control emotion, where you're just like, huh. And then she had cut her foot at some point in the altercation and then called the cops and the ambulance to herself. And so then I just sat at that door with my ear at the door, like, because they were just sitting on the steps there, like listening to them talk and how she cut her foot and all that. And I was like, she did it, by the way.
Yeah. Was she spilling the beans about the fight?
Obviously her.
Yeah. Because girls overshare. They'll tell a guy and they'll be like, and we were fighting. And well, I went through her phone. And the cop's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, the cop's like, I really don't care. We just have to patch you up here.
Dude, we've all been in that. I had a girlfriend who... we broke up. It was one of those things where you break up in slow motion. So you break up, and we had lived together before, and then we would still just like hang out. Like Friday nights, we'd always just end up back in each other's arms. But then being like, we're not getting back together, sort of thing. Lots of jealousy. And then she was like a blackout drunk. I would get back to my place and see that my window was open. The screen was removed from my apartment. And she would just be asleep in my place.
Whoa.
Like the not the big bad wolf. Who was it? The Goldilocks. It's like Goldilocks. She would just be in.
Porridge is still warm.
Oh, she would. I remember one time coming home and she was asleep in my bed, just like passed out drunk. And she had gone through all my drawers. So she had like lined up on my counter, like condoms, a Coke bag, like anything that was like vice adjacent. Yeah. And I'm like, I have to like deal with this. Fuck. So anyway, one time I come back to my place and she was asleep against my doorway. Because I started locking my window. Yeah, just passed out. I have like neighbors and shit. It's an apartment building. Yeah. You know, Ed could have seen that. And so I come and I need to get her away from my door, so I wake her up and I'm like, hey, I need you to leave. And right away, it's just you're waking up a drunk, erratic chick. Yeah. So she just resumes whatever anger brought her to your door in the first place. Exactly. Just like not like she didn't miss a beat. Yes. So she's screaming. So I get her inside because again, I have neighbors. So I get her inside. And I was like, you have to go. You have to go. We have this huge back and forth. I'm like, I'm going to call the cops. And then I do. And she full breaks down. I was like, you actually called them. Like now she's wounded that I can't believe you would bring the police in. Right. But she does leave. And then the cops show up and I'd given the description of the emergency and stuff. And then cops show up and I was like, yeah, she's not here anymore. And they go like, okay, well, you called us on a Saturday night. So we got to get the report. What's her name? And I was like, it's like really all good. And he goes, no, we came. You're filing a police report. What's her name? And I was like, I don't know. I couldn't even think of anything better to say because I was drunk too. And he goes, you don't know your ex-girlfriend's name? And I was like, nah, just her first name. And I just gave him a fake first name. And he's like, dang.
Yeah, like
It's
that.
like women are getting beaten in their homes. You know that, right?
Dude, that's one of those things where like I'm very rarely on the cop side.
Yeah.
But that's one where I'm like, you're objectively annoying.
Wasted our time.
Yeah,
There's like violent
100%.
crimes happening. Yeah.
It is amazing how you can be like, dude, when I got Baker acted before I got sober, dude, it was a whole thing.
You got Baker Act?
Yeah,
What?
so they called the cops on like a psych and they took me for like a psych hold. I don't know if they call it Baker Act, the Baker Act everywhere. Some places it's a
like a Florida
5150. It's like,
Oklahoma?
this was in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I don't even know if in Oklahoma they call it a Baker Act, but if you threaten your own life or the life of others, they can call and you can be involuntarily held in a psych ward.
Yeah.
Which is what happened. And dude, I mean, I was like, I got high. I was supposed to go to like my best friend's dad had died. I was supposed to go to his funeral. I missed it because I was like throwing a fit and couldn't get high, and they found my drugs and they destroyed my drug. And
Who's they?
My parents and my girlfriend at the time.
Gotcha. Okay.
And dude, I mean, I stomped around my apartment. I put holes in the wall. I threw a fit. I threatened to wrap a belt around my neck and kill myself. I was being a menace. I was obviously wrong.
And it's because they found your drugs and took them.
Yes, they found my drugs. They took my drugs. I had a TV in my trunk that I was going to pawn for more money. They took that. My girlfriend we had a little bit of
full
cash.
clean out. I'd be mad too.
We had a little bit of cash from like selling weed. My girlfriend hid that, gave it to my parents. My mom had access to my bank account. She still does. I still have the same bank account. So she drained whatever, little bit of money was. So I had nothing. And then in the fit of rage, I threw my phone and it broke so I have no way to get drugs.
Right.
No way to contact anybody. No money. I have no transportation because they took my car keys. So I just like freaked out.
This is heroin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so I just, lost it. And then they called the cops because I threatened to kill myself. And I was like, I can't believe you guys would do this.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
What is wrong? Dude, I mean, I remember being in the psych ward.
Behind you were just multiple holes punched in the wall. There's a belt on your neck.
Yeah.
Also, at one point, I know you were like, oh, okay. We'll revisit this.
Yeah, dude. And then it's funny, like I remember being in the psych ward and they gave me one phone call, which I don't know if this is proper protocol, but and then I call my mom and I'm immediately like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys?
I did this when I got a call.
And the guy like from the background went, sorry, ma'am, and hung the phone up and was like, that's not going to make anything
That's not
better.
what you're allowed to do. Oh, it's me.
Oh, I was like, what's that fucking noise? Oh, it's B.
It's B, young B.
So yeah, but like just like being so objectively wrong and being like, you guys are really bad for doing this to me.
Yeah. Every time I got sent away to a thing, which rightfully so, they also always sent me to like the nicest place. Like,
right. Yeah.
But every time I remember doing the same thing where I got one call and I was like, all right, I'm going to call my mom. And this guy gave me his stuff. It's a whole long story. I'd run away from the place. They were like begging me to like come back, but they couldn't use force. There was guys who were allowed to use force. Those were the guys who got me to California because I was like 16. And then after that, once I was in the hands of the treatment center, they couldn't.
Right.
So they just had to be like, man, just like get in the car,
Yeah.
And I called my mom and my mom answered. She's like, Spencer, because I'd been missing for a whole day because I'd run away and then they found me. And then right away I was just like, you're such a fucking cunt. This is why dad left you. And the guy's like, yo, give me my fucking phone back. And I did it. I was like, okay, let's go.
Bro, it's so funny. I went to treatment in South Padre Island, Texas. So it's a island with a bridge, a very long bridge.
Yeah.
That goes over to it and back. And that's it. Mm-hmm. And we had a kid. I was like totally fine. I was like not happy to be there, but I was like, this is where I should be, that whole vibe. There was a kid who ran away, with his bags.
Yeah.
And there's nowhere to go. And he ended up like getting picked up he like passed out on the bridge. And it's like, it's not a bridge where there's even like shoulders. It's like it's like a street.
It's just enough for the cars.
Just enough for the cars. And then he ended up, I guess because he had gone far enough, they took him to whatever city is on the other side, which I think is like Brownsville or something. And it's like all of those like border towns where it's just like, it's all Mexican people.
Yeah.
So he woke up in a jail, didn't remember really how he got there. I think he had said that he got drugs from somebody at like a bus stop when he had like escaped or whatever, and woke up and the all the announcements and all the people and all the guards all spoke Spanish. So he was like, am I in a Mexican prison? Like, am I in a Mexican jail? And then eventually just like whatever, they translated it and then they got him back. And then he tried to run away again. And I was like, there's nowhere for you to go, dog.
Yeah.
We're basically on Alcatraz. Like you can make the swim, but you're going to die or end up back here.
Yeah. There's like what was it? Escape from New York.
I don't think
Did you ever see that? It's,
No.
I think Kurt Russell, it's all of New York, has been turned into like one big prison.
Oh,
it's great.
Yeah, I'm
Dude,
sure it's great.
Not only, I mean, it's so great that there's a moment where he has the score. It's a very like serious dystopian movie. It's not supposed to be funny, but at one point, forget exactly what it is, but it's like you have to score like 10 3-pointers on a full court. And I think it's like at MSG or like where the Knicks used to play, like back when Civilization was. Anyway, and he does. And Kurt Russell, I believe he has like an eye patch, and he does. It's like that's like a big climactic moment in the thing. Is like he used to hoop.
And
before
just
his
like
life
every movie where somebody used to play basketball, but they're obviously an actor, the shot is just like,
oh, totally,
it's
from the chest,
ugliest fucking thing you've ever seen.
Feet don't move at all. Yeah, just he just
hate
aces
that.
them.
I hate that.
You never ran away though?
No, dude, no.
Yeah.
I was pretty ready to be there. By the time I got there, I was like, yeah, this is appropriate.
But you didn't go until you were like early 20s.
I was
right?
22.
Yeah,
I turned 23 while I was in treatment. Well, I was in treatment when I turned 23.
It's the teens leave a lot.
Yeah,
because your parents make you, and you have boyfriends and girlfriends, and you when you're like 16, you can't handle the idea of not seeing your girlfriend.
Yeah, dude. I have a buddy who owns a adolescent treatment center, and he doesn't tell me too much because there's HIPAA laws and whatever. But when I lived there, I like sponsored guys there, and I knew kids, and they would come to all the meetings we went to and whatever. And dude, those boys go crazy. Yeah. They run away. They fucking steal shit.
Oh, so much steal. They steal each other's clothes and shit.
Gay stuff constantly.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, they're menaces, dude. They're menaces.
Because I went to all of my rehabs that I ever went to were youth rehab. I never went to an adult one.
Oh, really?
So whenever I talk about rehab, all those experiences were me as a teen.
That's awesome.
The oldest I ever was 18, but I still went to a youth one.
Yeah.
So I always had a rehab girlfriend. I was always the man at every rehab. I would have the last rehab I ever went to, the kids would all come in because they knew me to be, and I know we talked about this in the last episode that I don't think you guys ever put out, but they knew me to be, I don't know if you did or not.
I'm sure we did.
It was mostly me rapping. They knew me to be a skilled rapper. And all the guys would come in and be like, all right, yo, and like close the door. It'd be like a planned thing. And I would a cappella rap them songs. And my most requested song was Dance with the Devil by Immortal Technique.
Dude, that's so fucking funny. That's such a teenage fucking like angsty
rehab, and I would do the whole part, and then I remember because new kids would come in. We get to the part where in the reveal in the song where you realize Billy's raping his mom, and I remember, and I'd be sitting there rapping, they'd be like, listen to this part.
It's like when you're watching a movie and you're like, this is the good part. Watch this. Dude, that's so funny. And I was holding
court. I felt like the man.
Yeah, dude, I'm sure you
And then
did.
I had to return to civilian life. It took me 12 years to adjust.
Yeah, dude.
I just started adjusting.
Yeah, I'm just now getting used to not being adorned for my rap skills in rehab, dude. Fuck, that's so funny, man. We didn't have like a rap guy, but we were all adults at that point.
You've given
I think
up on it.
Being that there's obviously like there's a couple tropes. There's like the kid I talked about who like doesn't want to be there and just like runs away constantly. There are the people that take it like almost too seriously.
Yeah.
And then there's like always a guy or a couple that treat it like they're in prison.
Yes.
And it's like, dog, they took us to the beach today.
Me. That was me. Yeah. It's embarrassing.
Yeah. I like that you have really accepted all the embarrassing phases you've been through and just you really don't give a fuck anymore.
Well, you have to I think being embarrassed is like massively important. I think it's a superpower.
Sure.
Sarah Silverman put out a book because I wet the bed till I was like 9. And she wrote a book called Bedwetter. And it's the whole book is about how her wetting the bed was like a superpower for her. Because you get made fun of so cruelly, and so you're never going to be more embarrassed than going to overnight camp and pissing yourself.
Yeah,
nothing is worse than that. So you begin this cycle of acceptance, and then it's
when you accept that you were like the corny white rapper, like you really, I mean, like, dude, I was never like the one who wanted to rap, but like I still love rap, and I loved rap then. And I straight up wanted to be Young Dolph. Like I wanted to sell the most weed out of anybody. I wanted to be the cool drug dealer who was like always fucked up, but like always had it. Like that's what I wanted. Like I actually remember there was a time where the guy I was buying weed from was buying weed from this sort of notorious guy in the city named T. R.I.P. And he was like a for real plug, like had like a home and like a Mercedes and like a family, and it was
those
supported
guys were awesome.
On like drug. It was like all drug money. Yeah. And I think I've told this, but like, so the guys broke into his house trying to rob him, which is dumb. He doesn't have any of it there, obviously, and he ended up getting killed. And it was this big thing, and like every drug dealer and drug addict I knew had a picture. There were so many pictures. T was like a 50-year-old Vietnamese man.
Okay, not what I was imagining.
And no, not what you were imagining at all. And his wife was white. And there were just pictures of him with like 20 black guys in his driveway, like all over Instagram and Facebook, like everywhere. And so, but that raid led to an investigation, or that like break-in led to an investigation, which then took down like a ring of basically everybody who was directly buying from him got like caught up in this like ring, like drug ring thing. Right. And the guy I was buying from was one of them. Which was scary, obviously. I like changed my number. I did the whole thing. But I was also like, that's so sick. Yeah. Like I thought it was so cool. Yeah. And I recognized his wife from posts and all that stuff. And her name was in a lot of the articles. And I was working at the UPS store at the time. And she came in.
You're a UPS man?
I worked at a store.
Yeah.
So,
did you wear the brown?
No, we wore like a teal. It was very ugly, very not attractive. And she came in and had some packages or whatever, and I helped her carry stuff out to the car. And I had like this was, by the way, this is like a week after her husband has been slain in their home. Yeah. And I was just like, I just wanted to say I knew a lot of people who knew your husband, and he helped a lot of people, and like, I'm really sorry for your loss.
He helped a lot of people, just poisoned the community.
He's just like selling crack and weed to like adolescent black teens. But like, I just like couldn't help, because I was just like, you know what it was? And I remember with hindsight, it wasn't me being like genuinely like me and like the people I know couldn't have made a live. Like, in my head, it was like this thing of like this, like, his distribution of drugs has helped me make more money. Yeah. Has helped my friends make more money. But it wasn't like this thing of like, we're all like from like bad places. And dude, I went to a Catholic private high school. Yeah. But like I said it, and I remember the feeling was as if like, how would we have made a living without him? Right. We were all like from the gutter, as if we're from South Central, like out the mud. Just
white suburban. There's nothing. We want to be from the mud, and eventually you come to terms that you're not, that you can't be.
I'm not, bro. You can't. You can never change the fact that you're not.
That you came up privileged. That's a real thing.
100%.
This is why so much white rap. Think about every big white rapper. They all have songs about substance abuse.
Yeah,
because it's that's the closest thing we can come is that.
That's the only thing that we can think of from like not having like an upbringing, or like there's a very common theme in rap is obviously like coming from nothing and having nobody, and then when I made money, all my friends crossed me, because that's the lifestyle that whole thing. Right. drug addiction is the only thing we
all we got.
have in that regard at all.
I'll play like a Macklemore song and then lean over to Ben and be like, man, we all slaves now. You hear that? We're all slaves now. We're all slaves to the pills and weed.
I had a moment on the plane from South Padre to Florida where I was listening to, I only had so many songs on my phone, like, you know, whatever, and I didn't have like service or anything. So I listened to, there's a drug song he has. I forget what it's called. It's called Drug Dealer, actually, I think.
Macklemore?
Yeah. And
Called Drug Dealer?
it's sad. It's about addiction and how it starts with lean and then dude,
it's called The Other Side, and it's it's Red Hot Chili. It's about Pimp C dying.
Dude, I don't know.
It's amazing.
All I remember is like being in full blown tears on this plane, like crying because that's my plight.
It's the one where it's like he rolled up, asked him what he was sipping on. He said lean. You want to hit it? I mean, it's a great song. It's a great song. Yeah.
It is a good song.
Yeah.
And it was like, dude, I was like fucking sad. Like I was like, this is me. Like all started with this little fucking thing, and now I'm on a plane I'm going to another rehab.
That like this is corny, and I'm gonna say this unironically. Macklemore's The Heist. That album with all those songs, Thrift Shop, all those songs about recovery and shit, that came out right as I just turned 21 and I was finally kicking heroin for the last time. And I listened to that on repeat for like maybe 2 years straight. Damn. I listened to it a lot, and it helped.
Yeah.
it really got me through it.
You know what? And this is a perfect example of what I brought up, which is that you don't care.
Yeah.
It's like, man.
It helped me. Macklemore saved my life.
That's so funny, dude. But it's true. I mean, whatever, man. That's the truth. It is just a humbling experience. I mean, I've tried to make a joke out of this, but I just feel like maybe it's a bit too niche, where like the humbling moment in sobriety of realizing that like all the rap music I've ever listened to, like the dope fiend they're rapping about is actually just me.
Oh yeah.
Is like really like, cause a lot of the times they rap from the drug dealer side.
Yes.
You know, they're, paying junkies to wash the car, and the fiends, their shit's so good, fiends keep come knocking, all that kind of shit. And in your mind, when you're in it, and I'm listening to that, I was the guy. I am the drug dealer. I'm Young Dolph. I'm Pusha T. Right. I'm moving weight. I'm selling pills. I'm doing all that. But I was doing all of that so that I could afford to be a drug addict.
Yeah, right.
Because it's like, I was selling weed, but I was also like stealing $40 out of the money that I made that my girlfriend kept a very close count of to like escape to go buy a bag of dope. Yeah, like, you know 100%. What I mean? Like, it wasn't like this big extravagant life.
I was selling black tar heroin, and my roommate who I lived with, who mostly paid for the house that I was selling out of, I was stealing from me. And I didn't bring it up to him because I avoid confrontation. Like he was stealing it. Like I'm listening to all the same shit, being like, yeah, we like moving weight out here. And then he like caught him stealing. And I was like, I don't want to bother with it. It's like, it'll make things weird in the house.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes, bro. Dude, I was that guy. I would pinch off your bag. I would go I had a buddy who sold a lot more weed than me. Like he sold a lot of weed, and he always had like a bottle full of Adderall, like to the brim, different pill, whatever. Yeah. And he always had like a fucking pound. And like, that was just like in this safe that he didn't really keep locked that much. Right. And we would get fucked up and like hang out. And dude, I was constantly taking a couple Adderall off the bottle, taking a nug and putting it in my pocket. Like, dude, like always. I was the worst.
It's so I would wait for my brother would fall asleep, and he would buy the heroin we would buy would come in single wrapped gram bags, and my brother would buy like 10 at a time. And this was at my final point where I had no money. I was sleeping on his floor. Like I just had nothing. And I would wait for him to fall asleep, and he was a heavy nodder. Yeah. So he would get high and then just like full, and I would go into his bed, and everything is done at like 0.1x speed. Yes. Unzipping the backpack, pulling everything out. I would then go into the bathroom, and I would shave them laterally. Yeah. So that it still maintained its shape. And I would do it to each one and then bag them all back up. Like the whole
And
process
tar is not super easy to
no,
like,
it's not. And you can see like fingertips on it. The whole thing would take like an hour and a half.
Yeah, dude.
Of me just being so quiet, moving so slowly so as not to wake him. And
dude, I've army crawled through more than one rhythm in my life, bro. Like for real. Like it's crazy to think about that. Like imagine I never got caught in the act.
I was about to say, I have.
You have?
Oh, it's
dude.
horrific.
Dude, I did it to when I lived with my parents briefly at like the beginning of my addiction.
Yeah.
My mom always kept her purse on the floor by her bed, and I would just army crawl, and like you said, like 1x speed, just so slow. And then I did it to my roommate. He sold weed, but he would buy an ounce and sell out of that, so you could only take so much.
Right.
I remember one time him and his girlfriend were asleep in their bed, which was also a mattress on the ground, and the jar is right next to his bed. So like, dude, I had to army crawl and then be like face to face with him, like asleep, just to pinch like a 0.2.
Yeah,
like a little, just enough for me to smoke a bowl before I went to bed. Like it was just like,
oh, so you were stealing weed just to smoke, not to sell and get dope.
Sometimes, yeah. That was.
So same scenario, army crawling, same deal. Mom asleep, person next to her, hand goes, and I'm reaching up onto her nightstand and just slowly unzipping. I just hear, "What are you doing?" And I just freeze and I go,
the fucking. The way
I'm looking for, I remember saying, I was like, I'm looking for mints.
Dude,
I just knew, I was like, I'm cooked. But what do I say? I'm looking for mints.
It is funny. You will lie no matter what.
Yeah.
Like you will, like, dude, one time, this was like, my mom has recounted this to me, telling me, she was like, this is actually when I began to like kind of lose it, because middle of the day, it's probably like 3 p.m. Dude comes, pulls up, he's outside, like down the street. He's got like morphine or something. I'm just buying whatever the fuck he has. And I went into the bathroom. I locked the door. I ran the shower. I got out of this window. And dude, if I could even, there's not even anything in here small enough to show you how small this window is. And I wiggle my way through it. It's elevated, so I have to crawl out of it. I had to place my hands on the ground, and my feet were up. Like, dude, I was at an angle like this, and I had to.
All you can do is like tumble out.
I had to somersault out of it. But then there was a wall. There was a brick, like retaining wall, that I had to stop short of.
Okay.
But it was, the acrobatic feat that was truly insane. I ran across. I have no shirt on. I ran across the yard. I hop in his car. He gives me the pills, whatever. I eat all of them right there. Like, that's just what I was going to do anyway. Yeah. So and then I'm running.
What pills? What are we talking?
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
I don't even remember, but I remember.
Benzos?
No, morphine.
Oh, morphine. Okay.
So I remember this guy robbed me constantly. So I remember he robbed everybody constantly. R.I.P. He got got. Dude, he got like executed in the street. Like shot in the back of the head on his knees in the middle of the street. These
are all Oklahoma guys?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I'm running back through the yard, and my mom has this under the tongue whistle that she does. I hear that whistle and I hear Matt, and I don't even look. I just sprint, get back in the window. I get in, I take my shorts off, wrap the towel around me, and I walk out. And I didn't even get in the shower. I just walk, and then she goes, and she's standing there. She goes, what was that? I was like, what? And she was like, I just saw you running through the front lawn. And I was like, are you fucking kidding? I was in there showering. Like, am I not allowed to do and of course,
of course.
Am I not allowed to do anything in this fucking house without being scrutinized? You know, all that shit. And then I remember her looking at me and just like, she knew, but she was just like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then just like walked away.
Yeah.
But just like the visual of me sprinting barefoot, shirtless through the front yard, and her being like, what are you doing? And then meeting me one minute later.
Yeah.
And being like, hey, what was that? And me just being like, you're fucking crazy.
What the fuck are you talking about, you bitch? Yeah, getting so mad.
You bitch.
One time, so the way you were that's how my brother was. My brother would just flat deny, whereas I would always have an excuse, but it would just be so unbelievable, but in depth. So same scenario, I might be like, his girlfriend broke up with him, and she had told me a secret, and he wanted to talk about. Like it would just be this whole thing where she goes, "Okay, just like say you were doing drugs." My brother would always flat deny. And one time, my dad found like a spoon and needles because my brother and I both used together, and he was like, "Whose needles are they?" Because we had a bunch of friends over too. My brother's like, They're not, they're not mine. My dad's like, whose needles are there? And then finally my brother was like, he's like, they're ours. And then my dad's like, ours? What? They're the Cavins family needles. They're just ours. Oh, just the Cavins family syringes.
The heirloom syringes that we have.
The Cavins family needles.
Dude, that's so funny.
It's so good.
God, dude. Yeah, I mean, I was also I was such a bad liar, man.
Yeah.
I was such a bad dude. I remember, so my brother, he's 7 years younger than me. So when I was doing this, he's like a young kid, a teen. He doesn't really know but eventually towards the end, he's putting it together and kind of like not cool. And one night it was just me and him at the house, at my parents' house. And, it's kind of like they didn't put this burden on him, but when they would come home and be like, what was Matt up to? Or anything like that. He gets that he's looking out for stuff, which is a crazy like burden.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. But one time, and I was just buying weed. I just was like, and I was like walking out of the front door and he was like, where are you going? And I was like, oh, my friend's here. I left my shorts. I was swimming. I left him so I'm going to run out and grab him. And I'm like, he's like, okay. He can't do anything.
Yeah.
So I run out and then I come back in. I come back in with no shorts. Because again, I'm such a bad liar.
You didn't think of a thing that you could bring in.
I didn't even think. And then I came back in and he was like, where are the shorts? And I was like, he forgot them.
You've been gone 25 minutes.
Yeah, he drove all the way here.
He forgot him.
So good. You're just so dumb. I'm just so committed to a lie. You're just like, yeah, he forgot the shorts that he drove here with.
Did he bring that up to did he call you out on that?
No, not then, but he will tell me that story. He tells me that story every time I see him.
It's
so funny, dude.
He forgot him.
Yeah.
I had my parents didn't put my sister up to like looking after us or anything like that, but she'll bring up to me. She's like, yeah, like you and Austin would like this because we'd be like out of her life for like a few months, just out doing the thing, and then we'd come. And she's like, and you guys would like try to bond with me, but she's like, it was like worse when you guys would come up because it's so gross. You would come up and I'd be watching TV and she'll impersonate me. And she's just like, what are you watching? And then she's like, and then you're just like sitting there falling asleep at the foot of my bed, and now I'm like uncomfy. Like I was watching a show with my friend, and now my like 19-year-old brother is just like nodding out on my bed.
Like at the end of the day.
Just like,
what are you guys gonna do later?
What's the show? And then she impersonates it really. It was more my brother than me, but then just like the acting like he caught something. It's like, you don't know what are you laughing at? What are you laughing at that they just said?
Funny, bro. Because it's so much worse to like fake try to bond while you're obviously on heroin than just to be like, you know what? I actually have no interest in this. Dude, that's so good. All right, Spence, we did it. Sorry, this is a short episode this week. We had to. It's my fault. We had to squeeze this in, but it's dinner time.
Dude, I think this is a 45-minute app.
Yeah.
I think this is the right amount of time.
You know, there are all these things in comedy, the hour-long special, a podcast episode, about an hour aside from like the Rogans and the long form. But like, dude, sometimes I think 45 hits, bro.
I think 45 is great. I've actually, I've been thinking about, like, if I could do a 20-minute podcast, I would.
Yeah.
I can't think of how to do it. It would require editing and scripting, which I'm way too lazy
not going to do. Yeah, 100%. Okay. Thank you guys for listening. We appreciate it. Go like, rate, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Follow us on Spotify. That's important. And enjoy the episode.
God, look at you doing the whole thing by yourself.
We do the whole thing.
Wow.
No Josh needed, but I do
Josh
miss him.
who?
Josh. Hey, Josh Francis, my best friend and co-host. All right, bye guys.
All right, peace.